baby crying sounds. Let's face it, when babies cry, it can be totally destabilizing and disarming. It acts on our little heart like a flashing light, but also on our nerves like a needle. Before alarm and loss of patience, we suggest that you immerse yourself in this very special sound universe. You will discover that baby, with its words, speaks to you and gives you indications on its needs and what you can do to support it. Goodbye, frustration. Babies make lots of different noises, from giggles to grunts to baby babble. Most of the time, they're happily engrossed in their new world. However, when a need arises, they have to let you know, and crying always gets your attention. Knowing baby crying sounds means you can soothe them more quickly. New families can find it challenging to understand what each crying sound means. You'll be relieved to know that babies actually have their own language, and, interestingly, it's the same no matter where your baby was born. It's a universal baby language, and the good news is that you can easily learn it. First of all, why do babies cry? Babies' cry plays an essential role in the health and development of infants. They are a physiological reaction to their primary needs. The first few weeks after the birth of a new baby can be stressful for families as they figure out why their newborn babies are crying. Baby crying sounds express different needs or emotions. While you might be a natural at cracking the code on some types of crying, most new parents benefit from a bit of support. Parents of babies need to look after themselves during the first few weeks. When healthy and calm, you have more energy to nurture a meaningful relationship with your little one and present a positive role model for your baby to learn from while responding to their different types of cries. Here are some crib notes to help clue you into what your baby may be saying or screaming. We've selected 5 vocal reflexes to review. Ne, hunger. A, burp. Air, lower wind, gas. Hey, discomfort, hot, cold, wet. O, sleepiness. Let's look a little deeper into how you can interpret each of these different sounds. 1. Ne, hunger. A newborn baby uses a sucking reflex to create the sound ne when they are hungry. The best way to recognize this sound is to observe your baby's mouth. They begin practicing this vocal reflex in the womb. If your baby is making sucking motions and crying, you will hear the sound ni at the start. Most new babies clench their fists when they are hungry, a reflex known as the palmar grasp. Babies may also try to gnaw or suck at their hand or reach towards your chest or a bottle. By observing your baby's response for hunger, you can respond to them before they become super hungry. 2. Upper wind, burp. The sound reflex A means your newborn needs to be burped. This sound is caused by internal reflexes pushing an air bubble from their chest. The baby naturally responds with a short hiss, a grunt, or a squeak that sounds like A in egg. It's not a real burp, but the sound your baby makes when trying to burp. A pained facial expression, squirming, kicking, shaking, and other fussiness are all indications that your baby needs to burp. You want to avoid an accumulation of air bubbles. It's a good idea, even if they're not finished drinking, to burp them now and then continue with their feed. 3. Air lower wind, gas. This sound is more noticeable when a baby is 6 to 12 weeks of age. If a baby has flatulence or an upset tummy, you will hear the sound reflex air. If the sound is isolated from crying, then your baby may have general discomfort and severe gas pain may not develop. If you miss the early sounds and your baby begins to cry, the crying will be very loud, intense, and rhythmic. It will last until the wind has passed, which may follow a similar path as a bowel movement. To ease their discomfort, there are several different holds, or you can give them a massage. 4. Discomfort, hot, cold, wet. Babies make the sound reflex he when they experience stress and discomfort, such as those signaling a nappy change. It's a sound associated with babies over 6 weeks of age. This sound is triggered as a response to a skin reflex, such as a sweaty or itchy feeling. Hey has several vocal variations. When a baby feels discomfort, their crying is usually mild and intermittent. The crying increases in volume if you ignore it, so be sure you soothe your baby and quickly determine the cause of their discomfort. We recommend learning what all the different types of cries mean for he. 5. O, sleepiness. Newborn babies make the sound reflex O when they are feeling tired. This sound is created as the baby yawns and exhales. O can be heard before the baby cries and during newborn crying. Babies making this sound have an oval-shaped mouth, flattened tongue, and spacious room inside the mouth. Our observation: if it's time for a nap, your baby may start rubbing their eyes. Their cry may start out slow and low and gradually build in tone and intensity. If your baby is exhausted, their cry can resemble the hunger cry. Listen to the starting sound before the cry, and you can tell the difference. How do you calm a crying baby? There are many reasons for a baby to cry, and our first priority should be to find out the cause and fix it. If you listen to your baby's different sounds, you will soon be able to decipher them. Babies have a variety of cries that can change depending on their environment and needs. You don't need to comfort your baby every time they cry. However, understanding what your baby is telling you will foster a strong bond and give your little one a more profound sense of comfort. Here are several ways to comfort a crying baby. Learn what the cries mean for your baby and how to soothe them. Find a comfy spot to nurture them. If the sound they make says, "I'm hungry," swaddle them in a cotton or muslin wrap if they're saying, "I'm tired," and help them sleep. Wipe their nose or use a nasal aspirator if their crying says, "I'm sick." Dress your baby for their environment. If their crying says, "I'm too hot" or "I'm too cold," look at how many layers you have on and dress them accordingly. Change their full nappy if their crying says, "Hey, my nappy needs changing again." Give your baby a gentle warm bath. Offer a pacifier at about 3 to 4 weeks or longer if breastfeeding. Hold and pat them in your arms, skin against skin. Young babies often like to listen to your heartbeat as it's a familiar sound. Sing a soothing lullaby. Put on some white noise or nature sounds. It must be stressed that while these baby crying sounds are noticeable in many babies, every child is unique. For example, premature babies may have different sounds. In addition, some babies are born with medical conditions, such as a tongue tie, which can alter the sounds a baby makes. Our advice is to observe your baby closely. Record the clues they give and note how they respond to the different ways you comfort them. So that was all for today's video. We hope you liked the video and our tips will help you in your parenting. For more videos like this, do subscribe to our channel and please leave a like to show us that our tips help you. See you next time.